Yow! Sanjay Uchiha here, people. And before I get into it, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, or even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just Happy Holidays. I am hoping today, or depending on when you're listening to this video, I would just hope the holidays have been going good for you. I hope today's been going good for you. Overall, I'm just hoping everybody's having a great time with family or friends, or even if it's by yourself, just live it up. So, what for Christmas, really and truly, this is kind of gonna be like a review slash Christmas recommendation watch kind of video, and it's different because obviously I mostly cover Dragon Ball and Naruto on my channel, but I'm mixing it up for Christmas Day here. So I really wanted to recommend slash review to everyone out there to really just take a look at Makoto Shinkai's Your Name. Um, to really get into the review, it's really a fantasy drama. Guess I could say drama slash romance in terms of genre. Um, really and truly, it's an anime film by Makoto Shinkai, as I mentioned before, about two teenagers. One being Mitsuha. She's a high school girl living in the what was it again? Yeah, a small town of Itomori, and this guy Taki who lives in Tokyo. Really and truly, so the story really and truly it revolves around this strange phenomenon when the two of them switch bodies at certain points throughout the week or just throughout the story, and more often than not it's usually when they go to sleep, and the story progresses with their efforts not only figure out why it happens, but also getting to know each other through that experience and help each other out in their respective lives essentially. So essentially figuring out how to live in each other's bodies for certain durations, and also through that they get an appreciation for each other by living each other's lives. So it's an interesting concept for a romance essentially. I'm not gonna lie. um it's just really a unique and interesting take. um if you've watched any of Makoto Shinkai's works before, one thing that does carry over into this is that the visuals and the music, they're outstanding, really and truly. If nothing else, and trust me, there's much more, but if nothing else, really and truly, the visuals and the music, they really help to set the atmosphere, that tone, that immersion into what you're watching here. The first half of the movie really does a great job of establishing the characters, and funny enough, even though it's romance, like Makoto Shinkai, like really and truly, I've only watched 5 centimeters per second from him, but going judge with my experience with that, coming into this, getting into the comedy, it's it's interesting. So the first half of the film really does a great job of establishing the characters through comedic means, of usually of like where it's embarrassment or confusion where the characters are concerned. It really stands out to me, as I mentioned before, that since 5 centimeters per second is the only other Shinkai movie I've seen, it's just that the contrast between that movie and this one for me, it's like the first half, I believe, it's the first half, sorry, at least it's worlds apart in terms of tone. I'm not saying that the various acts of 5 centimeters weren't good, really and truly, but because they were amazing. Well, sorry. Let me just kind of stop getting tongue twisted here. I'm not saying that 5 centimeters wasn't good, really and truly, because it was amazing. But in this case, I really had fun watching the characters in the first half of this movie. Um, Really, the comedy does a great job of bringing you in, and all of that combined with the relatable situations I felt the characters were going through, it really immersed me in like just wanting to find out how the film would end. And then with the tension and twist of the latter half of the film, it really does a great job in I guess selling this finished product that Makoto Shinkai has been shipping to us. So, kind of getting into the characters themselves. The main characters Mitsuo and Taki, they're likable, as I may have been implying before. But I think Mitsuo is more relatable. She's like the more relatable of the two for me, because she's at a point in her life where she's tired of our small town life, and things just seem routine and limited for her essentially. And this kind of coupled with the her family backstory, it kind of makes Mitsuo seem like the stronger protagonist in terms of her role and relatability where the film is concerned. I mean, we're given some background on Taki through Mitsuo's experience in his body, but as we're presented with the fact that Taki it's like he's naive to the ways of dating apparently. Of course, he's a high schooler and he has a heavy work schedule, which is cool and all. I think people can relate to that, but I just feel a bit more could have been done with him and his experiences. But I think it's still relatable, as I said, because I mean, doing school and working, it's never easy. But still, oftentimes, it just felt more like Mitsuo's story. But it was also nice to see that they had their similarities. That is, um, I must say, like the story twists and build up. Like, I don't want to give away too much spoilers here because at the end I'm still just recommending slash reviewing this for all of you out there to watch. It's like the story twist and the build up of tension towards the end. It came off. The movie does come off as emotionally satisfying, and it really keeps you engaged to really see how the movie is going to end. Um, it has great pacing and it transitions. I think it transitions from. Some people might disagree, but to me, I think it transitions from comedy to serious and even like surprisingly suspenseful, like th- throughout the second half. Yeah. Um, as I said, it's kind of fantasy drama based, but it's still primarily, I guess, romance. But I think where the fantasy elements in this movie is concerned, I think some people may ignore that there's a build-up of the other fantasy-based elements of the film. Basically, through the stories and lore of Mitsuo's grandmother, which I guess once you watch the movie, which when you look back at it, it gives more weight to the twists midway throughout the story, and I guess all the other fantasy-based elements beyond that. Essentially, there's like some subtle hints, essentially, in terms of what her grandmother says that kind of gives more weight to it. Um, I think objectively speaking though the problems of the movie, I think there's like two things for me. Personally, the side characters, I mean, judging by how Shinkai did 5 centimeters per second, it's always based on a limited amount of characters. So I went into it, I didn't expect for the side characters to get much shine, so to speak, but like you hardly care about the side characters. I think they do a good job of like their role and what they did in terms of adding to the plot. I think it was okay, but probably side characters could have been more. Could have been used more oomph, I guess. And also like the problem of the characters trying to remember each other's names on multiple occasions in the second half kinda like really and truly, it gives weight to the actual name of the movie for obvious reasons, but I feel it acts like a double-edged sword, but it doesn't take away from the film too much. Personally, it kind of just felt a bit odd that their memories of each other in multiple instances would eventually start to fade away, and they would have to struggle to remember each other and basically what they were even doing based on their location, especially in like Taki's case. And also, it left a feeling apparently left a feeling of longing, or as if they were missing something from their lives. Like really and truly, I think there's a strong message in that though. Hmm. Uh, hmm. How should I put it? I think it still all works out for a satisfying conclusion, and as I mentioned, a deeper message. I think it's just that sometimes like we go through years of our lives feeling like something is missing. And I think a lot of people sometimes reach a point in their lives where they experience that, or something similar at least. But all in all, I think Your Name by Makoto Shinkai, it's an interesting way to tell a romance. Um, because I mean, the characters are separated by so much, and it's only really like midway through that the fantasy elements like they reach this level, and you realize the characters are separated by so much more than just, I guess, distance. And really and truly, it's emotionally appealing and emotionally tugging. It just draws you in without feeling like too much of a soap opera, essentially. So all in all, I think Your Name is a nice little movie to like watch for the holidays. Kind of, it's really refreshing to me. And as I said, the visuals are great. The music is great. It's been getting a lot of, I guess, the movie as a whole has been getting a lot of criticism, but a lot of praise equally as well. So all in all, great movie. I'd recommend it. If I were to give it a grade though, like out of 10, I think I'd give it probably an 8 or 8.5. As I said, the movie did have its slight problems. I guess depending on who you are, the transition from comedy to serious and suspense probably could have been done better. But it all works out well for me personally in the end. So if you've seen the movie already, let me know what you thought about it as well. Um, I think it's one of the best movies for me personally this year. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Um, Run out of stuff to say again. But yeah, just I'm hoping everyone's having an awesome Christmas, awesome holiday. Tell me if you enjoyed the movie, rate, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see me, I guess I don't know, review other movies by Shinkai, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.